All right, so we're talking about accountability today. I was chatting with a friend, maybe colleague. What would you call him? Okay, it's my massage guy. It's remedial, so it's painful, and we spent the whole time talking about psychology and books they're reading and what we're learning in business and stuff like that. So anyway, I was telling him about the 360 we do and all the different categories that we measure. And when I got to accountability, he jumped on that straight away. He was like, "Oh, I wish." Like, how do you get people to be more accountable? How do you get them to take ownership of the work they do? And I'm reading between the lines and thinking, okay, so he's like, he's not a leader himself, but he works in a bigger team. He has students. He works in a team of people, and so he sees his colleagues and his manager getting frustrated that other people aren't taking accountability for the work they're doing. They're not taking ownership. They're not. And so I'm reading between the lines, thinking from my own experiences. They're like not maybe stepping up. Maybe they're going a bit slow, waiting to be told what to do rather than using their own initiative and just doing things. Maybe they're not sharing ideas. Maybe they're hesitating. And I'm remembering this from, and I learned this lesson in my first business years ago. When you hire people to do the job that you used to do, and you realize as a business owner that people will never be as passionate about your business as you are. And that makes it, they don't care as much, right? And that makes total sense because it's your business, it's what you're passionate about, and it's just a job to them. But it doesn't mean that because they're never going to care as much as you do, it doesn't mean that there shouldn't still be high standards and effort put into the work. And so I'm thinking of these things that will help a leader get more accountability, get their staff to take more ownership of the work they do. And so I've got 4 things that I'm going to explain, and I'm even going to use my whiteboard and write them down. This is really exciting. Okay, so the first thing is purpose. So have you connected what the work they're doing is to the big purpose? Does it fit in with the goals of the business? And because when people get stuck in just, and this is comes from like the what do they call it, the job characteristics model, where if people need to see the full task of things they're doing to feel satisfied in the work that they're doing. So if they are just doing a piece of the puzzle and don't see how that connects to the big picture, it's hard for people to take accountability, to know what they can do and be inspired by it and be passionate about it. So if they can see the big picture, know what they're working towards, that will help with some kind of ownership, accountability, care. It will help to increase that a little bit. I'm going to use a new color because I like that. What's the second one I was going to talk about? Expectations. So what this means is setting expectations. What I mean by that is, have you actually told them what you've expected of them? Have you actually said, this is what I want you to do, this is how I want you to step up, this is your area of decision-making responsibility? As a leader, can you think back and go like, right, have I actually laid the land out and said what I want from them? And it's surprising how many leaders think they have, because it's clear in our minds, like we know what we want them to do and we think we've said it, but has that actually landed? Have they actually understood what their responsibility is? And you can discover this when you have a casual conversation, you have a one-on-one meeting, you have a performance review, or you just have a little chat and be like, hey, what do you understand about this? What is your understanding of my expectations? What do you see as your responsibility here in this job? And that can just be the clue to, you'll elicit what they know, and that might let you know that you haven't actually lay down your expectations or said some things that will help them. So that's the second thing. What I want to say next, safety. I'm going to make it blue. So when I'm talking about safety, oh, that's a shitty color. Anyway, when I'm talking about safety, we're talking about psychological safety here. So is it actually safe for them to speak up and to share ideas if they have them, or to admit if there's a mistake? A lot of the times that staff don't speak up or bring forth ideas or mention things that they've noticed is because the leader hasn't created an environment where they feel safe to speak up. Maybe they've been disregarded in the past, or their ideas have been shot down, or maybe when there's a mistake, the leader, just saying, no one does this, but flies off the handle, points fingers, makes it blame all about the person, yells at them. No one does that, I know. Rather than exploring, okay, what went wrong? Where in the process do we need to address this? Making it that safe environment for learning. So that's a big one to help people, to help staff step up and take accountability, is do they actually feel safe to have a go, to try things, knowing that if something fails or doesn't quite work as they expected, the leader's going to be supporting them, have their back, looking for how to improve things rather than just blaming them and making it feel like, why would I try again? So that's the third one. And then the last one I want to say is, that's a good one. Purple. Letting go. As a leader, have you let go? Can you effectively delegate? I know you say you want the staff to take more accountability and step up, but have you actually been comfortable to let go of that? Or do you keep dipping down and stepping back in and helping them out if they haven't asked for it? Because that undermines accountability, it undermines confidence, it undermines autonomy. And those are the things that an individual needs to be able to take that responsibility and ownership of the work they're doing, knowing that they own that piece of the work. And yes, they are accountable and responsible for the quality of the work and the outcomes they're providing. And as a leader, that is the thing that you're looking at. You're looking at the quality and the outcomes, not so much how it gets done. And it's so common, and 100% doing it myself. When you know how things get done and you have a really good system for yourself, it's too easy to dip back down and be like, okay, just do it this way, or how about this, or try it like that. Whereas you've got to let the person do it their own way. As long as they're getting the same results, you expect the same outcome, then how they get there, they've got to be accountable for that part of the process too. Otherwise, they won't take ownership of any of it. So those are some of the things that will help with accountability. So connect what they're doing to the bigger purpose so they understand the big picture. Set your expectations, make sure it's out of your head and actually in their understanding, in their world of what they need to be doing. Make it safe to speak up, make it sure it's the learning environment and they are safe to fail and try and have a go because you've got their back. And work on your own ability to let go and delegate. So I hope that's been helpful in terms of figuring out how to get more accountability and ownership of your people. Enjoy.